Hello, welcome to Learning with Ms. H. Today we're going to be working on the astronomy project. You're going to have a little over a week to do this, so make sure that you get it turned in on time, please. For today, the lesson is to just jump right in and start working on the project itself. The instructions are here. You can read through this document and see them all. I'll go over them with you in a second. And then the project page is right here. This is where you'll submit your project. You are going to be doing a video submission for the Constellation project, or you will do a Google Slides submission for the Universe project. You can choose either option. They both do contain a video component. If you choose to do the Universe project, you will still have to record a video and just include that video in your slides, so you can embed it in there. So you will choose media if you are doing the Constellation project. You will choose the regular upload button and then the Google assignments if you are going to do the Universe part of the project. So you can do either option. The Constellation project option is what we'll talk about first. This one does require you to create a 3D model. You will be able to do that with whatever you have around the house. If you're not able to create a model, you can go ahead and choose the Universe project option. That's why it's on here. If you don't want to show yourself on video, or you don't have the materials to make a 3D model and you don't want to buy materials for 3D model, this is a version of the project that does not require you to make a model of any kind. So I'm going to start with the Constellation project, and then we'll move into the Universe project later. But the main differences are Constellation project, you are going to research a constellation of your choice, find this information out about it. The Universe project, you have a pre-made Google slide presentation here that you'll make a copy of, and then everything in red you are going to replace with information that you research or find in your notes yourself. So all of the red goes away, you replace it with your own information, and you'll submit that project. So you can watch whichever part of the video you'd like. I will make a note to myself to put a chapter mark on the video when I post it to YouTube, so you can jump ahead to the Universe if you'd like. It is a lot of slides. There's about 30 of them, roughly, that you'll end up putting information into and keeping to submit for your own project. So keep that in mind if you choose the Universe project. It is a little bit longer. All right, Constellation project. So you're going to choose a constellation from this list. This takes you to the International Astronomical Union website, and this union is the main body for astronomers. It's global. Worldwide, this is the group that meets to make all of the major decisions in astronomy. They are the ones who are responsible for changing the definition of a planet that made Pluto not a planet anymore. And if you scroll about a third of the way down the page, you get to this chart that has a white background. This is where you have a list of constellations. There are 88 constellations that are accepted by the IAU. So you can choose any one of these constellations to research. There are links here for images and information. You can Google the constellations once you pick one. However you need to find information is totally fine. But this is the website where you can go to find the full list of all 88 constellations. Once you decide which one you want to research, this is the information you're going to find about each of them. So history and mythology, what are some of the major stars in it? How far is the closest star to the Earth? What are any objects that are located within the constellation? So can you find a nebula, another galaxy? Is there a meteor shower? When can it be seen from Earth? And which hemisphere is it seen in, north or south? And then at least 3 other interesting facts that are not listed above. You need to give me at least 3 sources for information. So you can just tell me what websites you went to in your video, or you can copy and paste the links into a document and turn your camera to show the document, show the links, whatever you need to do to get me those 3 sources. So that is part 1. You're going to find this information. Part 2, you're going to create a 3-dimensional model of your constellation. So it has to be depth as well as length and width. It can't just be a flat model. You'll need to create this at home. If you are an in-person student, you'll need to do your model and your video at home, unless you bring your model supplies with you to class on one of the work days for it. You're not going to be given supplies here at school for it. You need to be creative with it and try to use things that you can find around the house so you don't have to spend a lot of money on it. Some examples of models can be found at this link here, so let's take a look at some. Some of the models that students have done in the past have been, this is a light box. You may have a hard time telling just by the image here, but they have pushed the lights through the back of a shoebox. And this is just a regular shoebox, and these are Christmas lights, and they've pushed them through at varying distances to represent which stars are closer to or further away from the Earth. So make sure if you do something like this that you are also showing depth besides the top to bottom, side to side. You can make a mobile. This student has a pillow form basically, and they've got some stars coming off of it. If you were to look at it from either the top or the bottom, you would see the constellation that they're showing, but looking at it from the side here, you can see that they have height and distance shown as well. So all 3 dimensions, the X, the Y, and the Z. This student had a hard time finding outside supplies, so they used toothpicks and marshmallows to make a stick figure. We've done this activity in the past in class, and some of the students did use their lab results as their 3-dimensional model. It is perfectly fine to do this. It's hard to tell again with this kind of thing, but they do have the sticks aiming out of the background as well to show depth. So those are some examples of the models that students have created. In one of these videos coming up, you'll see that it doesn't have to be literal like that. The third part of your project, you're going to create a 2 to 5 minute long visual presentation. Videos are preferred. However, you can screen record. If you don't want to be on video, that's fine. For this first project, I'm going to give you a couple of options. So you can screen record if you do a Google Slides presentation, a Prezi presentation, make a website, some type of infographic. You can screen record whatever you create on the computer and then just do voiceover with it and go through it and tell us about it as you go. You will, however, need to include images of your 3D model that very clearly show that it is a 3-dimensional model. So, videotape yourself showing us your model and talking about what you discovered about your constellation. If you submit a video, you'll submit it using the media button, and everything that you researched, all of this information up here, you'll need to discuss in your video. You will also need to show us your model and discuss why you made what you did, how you chose your materials, and then talk about why it is relating to that constellation. Again, if you create something on the computer, make sure you screen record yourself presenting it just as if you were here in class. You can use things like Screencastify and Loom. They're free for up to 5 minutes. They may be free for up to 15 still, but they're for sure free for up to 5 minutes. And you can go through all of the information in your presentation and tell us about each slide or each part of your presentation. Please, please, please make sure if you're doing the screen capture, you include images of your 3D model, okay? You can embed a video of it, or you can embed pictures of it in your presentation. Examples of presentations are here. I'm not going to play these for you, but there are two different presentation examples here. So this one, he hung it above the doors, and so you could look up underneath it. And then this one, he's got his model at the end of it. Let's see. You can see, I'm going to pause this because we're not going to play the video. He's just used a pan, like a pot that you would cook with. And his was Ursa Minor, so the Little Dipper. And he thought that it looked like a pot, so that's what he used. And that's perfectly fine. He didn't make it, but he did put it in an upside down orientation so that it looked like the constellation in his background image. And he was creative and he used what he had on hand. So he was able to talk to us about it and relate it, tell us why he chose it, why it represents his constellation. Totally fine. So if you want some examples of how to do the screen record presentation, check these out, watch them. They're linked right here. So upload your video that you make using the media button, regardless of whether it's a screen record or an actual video of yourself. The second option you have is to go through this universe project. The universe project is going to be a pre-made Google slide presentation. You're going to be asked to research information on each slide. You're going to follow the directions for the slide and replace any red instructions on every single slide with whatever you found in your research that relates to that. Record that video presentation. You'll record a video presentation of this where you choose between 5 and 8 slides that are most interesting to you, and you'll screen record again on this using whatever screen record tool you have, and you'll talk about each one of these slides as you show them. You're going to take that screen record and you're going to embed it in your Google Slides, and then upload your Google Slides the normal way with the Google Drive tab. Here's the slide presentation that you're going to follow. Everything that's red has information that needs to be replaced, okay? Everything red you need to replace with information you found. Instructions for your screen recorder here. In order to embed your screen recording, you're going to delete all of this red information here, okay? And you are going to go to Insert, Video, and then you're going to choose your video. If you've saved it in your Google Drive, you'll choose it there. You'll just click a file, select, insert, and it's going to embed your video right here on this slide. And again, delete anything red in the slide. Okay. Once you've done this, this is what you'll submit the normal way through the Google Drive tab, and then you are done. Check your due dates. Make sure you get it turned in on time. Inbox me if you have any questions. We'll see you next time.